Thank you for being here. Family Talk Fridays with the GW3. We are here to empower, motivate you, and uplift you to your highest self. Be the better version of yourself than you were yesterday. And how do you do that? Connecting with community, connecting with like minded people who are going to do that for you, who's going to help you and understand where you're coming from. When you find community, you become empowered. We are currently in the clubhouse. We are in Facebook, YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Today's topic is your body's talking. Are you listening? So are we listening to our bodies? When we eat something and we get heartburn, that's a way of your body talking to you, saying that we don't like that food putting in our bodies. So don't eat it. What are we putting in our minds? That is so important. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, we are going live right now in our YouTube, Facebook page. Thank you so much for the link, Renee, for putting it up on here. See us live right now. And I would like to call over my friend, Deborah, Vic. Where are you, Deborah? Come
I'm
share some
backstage.
wisdom.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here, Deborah.
Thank you. And of course, thank you for having me.
Our bodies are talking to us. Are we listening? Are you listening to your body, Deborah? Deborah, you're muted.
I muted myself. I am listening to my body. Hold on. Let me change the audio because
Thank
it
you.
doesn't seem to like that one. Is that better?
Better.
Oh, we got echo. Let
You're muted. I can't hear you, Deborah. Deborah, I can't hear you. Hello, Deborah. Deborah, you're muted. Oh, yeah, you're muted here on Streamline. Okay. Well, you know what we always say here in GW3, technology loves me and I love technology. You're a little robotic. And it's okay. We will get this party started. We have one of our coaches coming up as well. Coach Adelita, Coach Adele. I was waiting for you, Coach Adele, in the back chat. I hope you received the link.
Hey, Jeanette. Thank you. I'm here.
You're in the background?
I am in the background.
No, in the back room and backstage.
Oh, not yet. I'm gonna go jump in there right now.
Okay. Yay! Well, I can't wait for you to talk on this topic, Coach Adele. This is so important for us right now.
All right. Let's see.
Deborah, something's going on with Deborah's. Blessing joined us. Come on up, Blessing. Oh, and Michelle, thank you so much for being here. Coach Adele, are you? Like I said, everyone, technology loves me, and I love technology, and it's okay. We will get it started. While we're preparing, I would like to take it into the clubhouse and see if anybody would be able to share about the topic. Who would like to take it away?
Oh, I could take it away.
Blessing, take it away, Blessing.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. I can give you very, very, very immediate reference to this. So, everyone, happy day after Thanksgiving. God bless you all. So, yesterday was Thanksgiving. So, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the day and just do things for me and like for family and just, just take it. I've been working out every single day since my birthday on November 3rd. Well, with the exception of 2 days when I had my. I did not work out yesterday, and when I tell you, I felt horrible yesterday. I felt terrible. I did not feel good. I thought I was actually sick until I got to the end of the day, and then I realized, hey, you didn't work out today, and you made that commitment to your body, and now your body is holding you to it. So now, well, this morning I made sure I got up, even though I was off. I got up at my 3:00 time, and I made sure I did my workout. So our bodies are asking us to take care of them. They're asking us to stay active, even if it's not. You don't have to do. You don't have to do burpees and lunges and run 5 miles every day if that is what your thing is. At least stretch, move, be physical, something, get your range of motion going. Because even like when the 75 hard started, I was thinking, I'm like, this is impossible to maintain. Like your body is going to, like my body is not going to make it. But then I realized your body needs that movement. Right. It just needs a variety and it needs to know that you're taking care of it every day. You can't neglect it. So guys, stay moving, keep moving. Your body will thank you for it later, or it'll get you for it now.
That's right, Blessing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I got Coach Adele in the house. Thank you for being here, Coach. Take it away.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good to see you guys here. Thank you for the invite, Jeanette. The body, whoo, that's amazing. It's such an amazing topic. When you think about the body, I like to refer to it as the map of ourselves. So, as a coach, and this is what I do on a daily basis, I tend to wire that into my client's head, because when we think of the body, we think of it just like something to walk around in. But for the most part, it is considered the map. If you just pay attention to the body, it will tell you exactly what's going on. And I've heard Zinab, was her name Zinab, talking about, paying attention to it and, going to the doctor if you need to and that type of stuff. Sometimes we don't even have to wait to go to the doctor, because our body does not lie. It will tell us exactly what we need to know. And this is from the physical right to the emotional. If we pay attention to how we feel, because our feelings come from the body as well. So that's a part of the body. And our feelings is the one that gives us an indicator that something is not right. And then the body's telling us, this is what you need to do. And if we just sit and pay attention to that map, it will direct us exactly where we need to be with our health. So I just wanted to kind of pinpoint that there, Jeanette.
I love that you said a map to a map. And that's so true. I never thought of it like that. And our bodies are constantly talking to us. Earlier, we spoke about inner child work. Do you that we hold on to things that happen in our childhood that's affecting us today? And I just barely found this out a year ago about inner child work. And how important is that? And that's so important to get that out there, the knowledge. Constantly Blessing also shared the knowledge is important, and movement of our bodies is so important. And it's talking to us all the time. If we're feeling lethargic and lazy, and we got to ask the questions, why are we feeling this way? What is it that we're putting in our, not just in our mouths, but in our minds? Like as in the foods, because there's foods out there that can get us feeling lethargic and lazy. Like, let's say last night's dinner, a turkey. There's chemicals in our turkey that uh, keeps us in that state of fullness and laziness. Even after we eat our turkey dinner, doesn't everybody kind of they call it the turkey coma, the coma state. So definitely there's something in that turkey that keeps us in that feeling. Do you know anything about that, Coach Adele?
Yes. That is so true. What we put in our mouth is one. What we put in our mind. What are we feeding ourselves with mentally? What are we watching? What are we reading? Who are we engaging with? That's part of taking care of the body. What are you feeding your brain with? And then, as far as, like you said, the turkey dinner, the food we eat, what are we putting in our bodies? And are we going back to um, are we going back to the natural way of being, upgrading the quality of your food? What kind of food are you eating? Are you reading the labels? Um, how many ingredients is in the product that you buy? How many uh, chemicals are based in the food that you're eating. Stay away from the ones that have more than five things that you can read on it. That type of stuff. That's when it comes to the food. How are you eating? Are you eating under stress? Are you taking your time to eat? Are you in a rush all the time? What are you doing? That those are ways to take care of the body again. Um, and I love to think about, where's your mindset? Where's your mindset? What are you
Have
doing
you
with it? What are you thinking about that might not be true, that is making you annoyed and angry? What emotions are you feeling? And these things, when you pay attention to your body, it will tell you that something is not in alignment with the self. As long as it does not feel good, it simply means, hey, I'm going to take this and run with it. What is making me feel this way? Why am I feeling this way?
Mhm.
And instead of taking it like, why are they doing this to me? What am I doing to myself to make me feel this way? So that's what I have on that there, Jeanette.
Thank you, Coach Adele. We have Deborah Vick. And speaking of bodies, Deborah, take it
well,
away,
actually, I
Deborah.
wanted to ask Coach a question.
Go right ahead.
Have you heard of mindfulness eating? So that's actually one of the elements of my course that I'm doing right now as a mindfulness practitioner. And there's a whole section on mindfully eating.
Yes.
And
Yes.
part of that is taking that time, right? To not just taste the food, but to slowly eat it, to experience it, even from all different parts of your body, using all different of your senses, right? Your eyes, your sense from your nose, the touch, the look, and the taste, and even the different tastes in your mouth. And when you take that time to mindfully eat, you're slowing down.
That's right.
And when you slow down, you're not only appreciating that process, you're getting more involved with it, and you're getting more focused on not just the food, but you can start thinking about, where does this come from? How is this serving me? Who helped make it? Who helped prepare it to get it to where it is today? There's all different elements that you can think about it. But I just wanted to throw that out to you, Coach, because I know you mentioned a couple of amazing gems that I really wanted to say, first of all, thank you for. But I wanted to throw that out to you before I talked about the body part.
Good, perfect. Thank you so much, dear Deborah. When you say that, I spoke about that in one of our talk the other day, where it's like, we sit and we eat, and when we eat, we're so stressed out. Like, we don't even get the nutrients that our body needs from that food anymore. And at times, even, it doesn't matter how hard you work out, it doesn't matter what you're eating, but if you're eating under stress, your body just cannot burn that food. It doesn't metabolize, because you're more in a fight fright mode, as opposed to like a calm mode, where if you're in this fight fright mode, your metabolism shuts off, because it's worrying about, where am I going to put this energy to my muscles so I can run, to keep me going. So when the body gets so used to doing that, and on the norm, when you think about it, it's sort of a normal for people to be running around eating under stress and not taking care of the body, because, oh my gosh, I gotta be here, I'm running late, oh, the kids, this, that, the next, and then they eat on the run most of the time. And so that brings up the parasympathetic mode, and that cuts off metabolism right away. So thinking about, yes, eating, yes, working out, but mainly, how are we eating? Key question: how are we eating? you know and when you think about that, it allows you to slow down. It allows you to pay attention to what you're eating as well. And then, and when you start doing that, then you start to realize your body's starting to make its own change. So it's your map. It tells you what it needs. Take it away there, Deb.
Absolutely. And I want to add one thing too. Also, when we slow down, our bodies fill up better, because our bodies get into a certain sense of how much time it takes to fill up, right? And if we slow down how we eat, our bodies will fill up with less food too. So we're also enjoying it, processing better. Go ahead. Could you read out something that, Coach?
Yes, yes. So when you say that, the next key thing to that is, we have never been taught how to eat. It is so crazy that we shove and shove stuff in our mouths, and we just swallow and drink something behind that, and it's gone. The rule to eating: you must chew your food. It's a thing that we never pay attention to. But the point to bring across for that is, we have given a mouth teeth for a reason. Chew your food. When you chew your food, the range between of chewing your meal, take a spoon of food, a bite size, and chew that bite size at least 25 to 30 chew at a time. And it's so crazy, because I practice it, and sometimes I gotta catch myself, because it's not an easy thing to do. But here's the reason why we need to chew our food. Number one, if you cut a lemon, and just thinking about the lemon, your saliva starts to work up. Yeah. It's the same way with food. When you put your food in your mouth, your saliva starts to mix the food up, kind of like make it into a mush. And that food has to have a certain amount of saliva in it. So when it hits the stomach knows exactly how much acid it needs so that food can digest. And half the time, we do not chew. Some of us, like, for example, I'm going to talk about my husband. I have to slow him down sometimes. I'm going to be like, babe, you got to chew your food. Like, he'll take a mouthful and like 2 or 3 chews, and then it's gone. I'm like, did you chew that? So, it's like, you kind of got to pay attention to that. And that is super, super important. That's the reason why we have saliva and acid in the stomach, because they work together.
I love that, Dr. Adele. Dr. Adele. Coach Adele, I'm calling it already. I've been
That's good. That's good.
calling you doctor. Oh my goodness. It was amazing what you just said, because chewing our food and nobody teaches us. Our parents are running around. We got to get going. We got to go to school, grab something quick, eat it on the way to school. And that's not enjoying our food. That's not sitting down, preparing our day. You know, let's wake up an hour early. Let's change our habits so we're not rushing it. And chewing, that's another thing. A long time ago, somebody told me to chew your food to where it's all mushy, almost to where it's liquid type, because it will digest better in your stomach. You don't want big lumpy food, because if you're forcing it down your throat, that's not good. So slow down, chew your food, so your digestive system doesn't have to work so hard to break it down. And and in my family, they're like, Janet's always the last one to eat, last one to finish eating, because I chew my food till it, really gets in there, and I don't want to force it down. So I love that you mentioned that. It's so true. Taking the time to enjoy our food. And another thing, when you're having dinner with your family, turn off all the distractions. Turn off the TVs. Put your phones away for half an hour, 45 minutes. Enjoy dinner time with your family. That's one thing. Or a meal, lunch, breakfast, whatever it is. Sit down and really enjoy a meal with your family together, and take our time. Chew our food. Play some nice soothing music in the background, and have a beautiful conversation with your family. Connect. It's so important. Our That's another thing our body tells us is, community connection. So thank you so much, Coach Adele. I appreciate that. And Deborah, Vic, as one who struggles with, well, not struggles, because you're finding the solutions to it, but you're going through your things, and share a little bit with us. Well, my dogs are barking in the background. Sorry.
I was looking to see if my dog was going to respond, but he was all good. Yes, it's definitely, it is a struggle. It's a struggle, not just daily, it's throughout the day, because it changes, right? And today was a perfect example. I've been wanting for the past 5 weeks to go to the Friday marketplace by me, a farmer's market. But my body is telling me something very different. Now, I really, really want to go, and I've been trying really hard to get there, but I keep on passing out. So my body rest, and I'm not going again. And I had to not go to my family's house. My brother and his family flew out from New York to Arizona. I was supposed to be in Arizona this week, but my body again was not agreeing with a recent treatment that I had, and blood work is telling me otherwise as well. So I'm staying home, and that's a challenge. It's a challenge, constant challenge, and I'm not always good at it, of listening to my body, or my service dog for that matter, because I've had arguments with my service dog trying to tell him I'm okay when he's telling me otherwise. And so it's a struggle, because especially when you are a type A personality and your body is not quite that anymore, you have to learn how to slow down and listen. And part of the reason why I started doing this mindfulness practice and then turning to becoming a facilitator for it is to learn how to practice that mindset daily and to apply it throughout the day, because I can't fix the challenges that I have, right? There are certain things that this body is just going to do, but I can work on how I respond to those challenges, right? And that's what's really important. And it's not just for adults. Like you mentioned your challenges as a kid. I had challenges a lot as a kid. And I didn't do that inner child work until last year as well. And, it takes time to learn how to accept, learn how to forgive. And that forgiveness, by the way, for everybody who's going through that, it's not for anybody else but yourself. It is for you so that you can move on and that you can be the best version of yourself. And sometimes that means I'm in bed or I'm sitting here on the couch with my cuddly blanket. I was in my PJs up until a few minutes ago. Uh, but that's okay because sometimes we need to stop and slow down and really take that time to observe. How does your body look? How is your body responding? What is it your body telling you? How do you listen to that and create something that works for everything? And I want to mention that too, because with my medical conditions and because I do pass out regularly from issues related to dysautonomia, and because I have to be inclined and not flat because of my other disorders, I've created spaces in my house that allow me to still do my crafting or do my computer work and still support my body. And at this particular moment, also do my IV fluids, right? Or my infusion treatments. So, and by the way, also have my singing bowls here for my mindfulness practice. So I've created this corner. Oh, it's more than a corner. It's part of the house. It's my living room and dining room. It's mine now. But I've created a space that takes into account my medical needs, my physical needs, and my mindset. And for me, also, that does include my crafting because that allows me to redirect any challenges that I'm having or feelings that I'm having of limitations. It allows me to do something else and allows me to turn that challenge into something positive. And then usually it's the gratitude gifts that I give to people or just ways of supporting other people. And that helps me go in a direction that I know has a purpose. But I'm listening to my body while I'm doing it. I'm creating spaces that supports my neck and my back and my legs and the medical supply zone as well. And I gotta say though, my family has now gotten very used to me with my bowls and my meditations. And the second that I start to kind of go like here and get really stressed, like, can you take out your bowls? Do you want me to play them with you? My younger son will like, I'll play it. Mom, don't make me. And he'll like go and play it. Or my kiddo's actually done some of the breath work with me. And he'll be like, okay, mom, just close your eyes. You're on a beach. And he'll try to do the walkthrough of one of the meditations that I've led. And it's just really great to hear that, right? Because that means I actually hear it every once in a while. Even though they're teenage boys with my headphones on 90% of the time, they are hearing it. And when we practice it as adults, we're teaching our kids other ways of coping. We're teaching them other ways of working through those challenges. And we're teaching them how to do that reset, right? Because we get stressed and we don't often teach how to do that reset. Same thing with food. I learned a little bit about it as a teenager when my mother was taking me with her to her Weight Watcher meetings. And I learned then about that process of eating. I learned it again when I started doing this certification program. And it just was a reminder. And something you said, Janet, turning off those devices when we sit at that table or when we sit down. I do that now. I didn't used to do that. Now, even if I take my phone to the room, I will say, okay, turn my phone off right now. They don't believe that I can do it. They used to make fun of me saying, I don't believe you can turn it off and not be on Clubhouse. But I do it because I want to teach them that it's okay to turn our devices off for half an hour or an hour and enjoy that moment because I tell them all the time, especially my older son who's 16, will be 17 in a few months. I'm like, you're going to be gone soon, right? It's like, it goes by so fast. You're going to be, I can't even say that. But, like, you're not going to be here soon. Yes, you need to sit here for a few minutes and give me some time because I'm not ready for you to like get older. So, just enjoying it because it really does go by fast. And to take that time to be with the family and enjoy it and not shove the food into the mouth like teenage boys like to do and husbands. But just taking that moment, and I love it. And I love this topic because I think all of us get to, I'm not say all of us, but many of us, we get into that rush mode and we rush from one thing to the next thing. We got to go here. We got to go here. We got to go here. We got to get the kids. We got to go to the store. And when we're doing it, well, first of all, when we're grabbing food on the run, we're not usually grabbing the healthiest food, right? Because fast food in general is not the healthiest food. I mean, yes, if you search for it, you can find some, but like the drive-throughs are typically not the fastest food is typically not the healthiest. So when you're running from place to place, grabbing your food on the go, one, you're not mindfully eating, you're not slowly eating, you're not taking the point to enjoy it and even appreciate how it came to you, right? And work that it might have taken to get to you in the first place. And then you get hungry right away too, because if you don't take that time to properly fill up and properly eat, you will get hungry faster and quicker. And then again, you rush to put food in and it becomes that cycle. So that slowing down process allows us to connect with our food, allows us to connect with how it came to us, allows us to connect to our family, and allows us to connect with our body. And just back to the body listening part, I'll tell you, man, I struggle with that regularly. I do because I want to do way more than my body will allow me to do. Like way more. We're in major disagreement on that. But it's important to also listen to it, right? It's important because there's reasons why our bodies are telling us things. So when it's telling us stuff, man, we do have to slow down and listen. And I will yield that mic over to you, hun.
Woo woo! Deborah, you dropped so many gems as well. You created a corner. Well, you created a space for yourself and well-being. That's so important. That was such a great tip that we should create spaces to go in and heal our bodies, heal our minds, a meditation space. Laura Cobb, we got our Dr. Laura in the house. Where is she? Is she coming in or not? Oh, so thank you so much, Deborah. And you also, what you focus on, Tony Robbins would say, where focus goes, energy flows. And I love, love, love that. And what is it that we're focusing on? Are we focusing on hurrying and getting things done, or are we focusing on the moment and appreciating what it is that we have in front of us? So thank you so much, Deborah. Now, Coach Adele, Dr. Adele, when it comes to our mindset, and creating healthy habits with our mindset, what is it that you would recommend for people out there listening?
Yes, Jeanette, thank you for that question. First and foremost, I would say, what are you surrounded with? When you think about the news, what do you listen to? Is it positive? Are you focused on the positive things? Are you, surrounded by positivity? Are you facing every day's challenge with the positive as opposed to the negative? Like, for example, something happens and maybe it doesn't feel right, but are we looking at it as something that's trying to tell us that we can learn from that event or that thing that happened, as opposed to like, oh my God, why did this happen to me? Instead, we look at it as, you know, what is it that I can learn from this today? What is this teaching me? Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Fill yourself with gratitude. The minute you start feeling going like down the rabbit hole, thinking about, oh my God, why did this happen to me? Blah, blah, blah. Take out a book and a pencil or a pen and write down things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my dog. What about your dog? He's happy when he comes to see me. I'm grateful for my granddaughter or my grandson. I'm grateful, and start to think gratitude, 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 and that actually builds this energy of, positive flow. So I love the gratitude journal. And I was listening to Deborah, you know, saying how she created a space that makes her feel that she is possible. That's that's like some superpowers positivity right there. You gotta have it. I mean, to be able to get around and do what makes you feel like you're alive. Because when we come to this earth, we came here to grow. And the minute we're not moving and taking action like we're supposed to, it doesn't feel like we're growing. It doesn't feel like we're giving back to humanity. And that's all we're here for. Every one of us came upon this earth to grow in some form of the other. And the minute we're not growing, we become frustrated because that's not in our nature to not grow. And I love this book, Feelings Buried Alive Never Dies. I don't remember the author, but the book says feelings that are buried alive never dies. It's like basically telling you that your feelings is usually derived from a belief, and that belief sometimes we believe a certain thing, and we learn a certain coping mechanism that allow us to continue to survive that thing. So I'm going to speak for myself as a coach, and I've seen this with a lot of my clients. For my own self, I noticed that I was struggling so much in relationships. And this is the reason why I specialize in relationships and self love, because I remember myself just having the hardest time on this planet to find someone who would love and appreciate me for who I am. And I felt like it was never happening. And I was like, I used to be angry, like, oh, I hate men. I don't want to be with them. They're all the same, blah, blah, blah. And then it hit me. I said, wonder why this is happening to me. So I went on this whole search, health search, everything. I ended up becoming a coach to find out that it was a belief within me that allowed me to attract those kind of people that weren't valuing me for who I am. Mindset again. And the mindset was something underneath that was buried that I didn't even know was there. But when I went back and I found the reason behind it and where it stemmed from, it came from activities that happened in my home as a kid. And I saw that, and then I made a belief of it. And that belief that I made became my identity, who I was. And once I found that, and like what Jeanette said, what was it you said?
Where focus goes, energy flows.
Where focus goes, energy flows. So I did not know that my focus was on that thing subconsciously. So when I looked at it, then my focus went to that thing, it starts to dissipate. And that was when my life changed. Now I have a man that will like literally kiss the ground that I walk on. Baby, what's wrong? Do you need something? Oh, honey, I love you every 2 seconds. What did you do to me? I did to me. I took care of me. I started to love myself. I found these things that were mentally ingrained in me. And so when it comes to everything, and this is why I do transformational coaching, because everything that you suffer from, every pain, every hurt, every anger, every frustration, every one of those things come from some underlying belief, what you say, limiting belief. And when you find that, it's the gold mine. That's it. There you go,
Life
Jen.
changes for sure, right? When you find that.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And and for me, that for me is fulfillment. I love Tony Robbins, Jeanette, I love Tony Robbins, but fulfillment
Me three.
comes from when you are able to touch someone's life to the point where you've seen the drastic shift of from pain and unhappy, depressed to happy, full of life, and going for it and just growing. That's the best blessing one can have. And that's how I feel when I see my clients move from, this deep depression right up onto like, I wrote my first book. It's beautiful, such a beautiful thing. And everything starts with the mind. That's where it is. So I love your move there, Deborah. I mean,
Thank you.
you have this tenacity of just doing it. I don't care. I'm still gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try until I get it. I
That's
love
right.
it.
I love that, Coach Adele. There is no problems, only solutions, right? And let's not focus on the problems. Let's focus on the solutions. Why? Ask questions. Why am I feeling like this? Why is my stomach hurt? Why am I in a depressed state? Ask yourself those
Hmm.
questions. It's inside of us. The answer is already inside of us. And if we sit down in silence in our space that we have created, we can find those answers. And if we can't, there's always solutions. Talk to a close friend. Talk to someone who has been through it and gone through it. You don't want to ask the questions to people who are struggling themselves because there's no answers there. You can't, they're looking for the answers as well. Ask the experts like Coach Adele. You know, there's nothing wrong with getting help. That's another thing. A lot of people are so prideful and think that, oh, I don't need therapy. I don't need to talk to anyone. We all need to talk to somebody. We all need, and it's okay. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Times are changing. Beliefs are changing. Back when we were growing up, uh, therapy? No way. There's no such thing as therapy in our family. But we needed that. I needed that. It changed my life when I finally went to therapy. Having to talk to someone who didn't know me and telling them what I've gone through was really a release. It released all the stuff that I was carrying. And we need to release those things sometimes. So thank you so much, Coach Adele. I just love it. And what are we grateful for? Focus on that. Don't focus on the problems all the time. Focus on what we have already. Correct, Coach Adele?
That's right. That's right. The positivity. You want to stay in that vibration. I read this book from Esther Hicks. I don't know if you guys heard about her. She's such a motivator. Actually, that Ask and It's Given from Esther Hicks was my first book that I read. That really like swiped me off my feet, and I realized like I was in control. I had the power, and that I was like down in the dumps where like so depressed, so confused, so annoyed, just working 3 4 jobs, having to raise 3 kids on my own. Like life was just in the dumps, and I came across that book, and I realized like, whoa, I have all these powers. Like what? I didn't even know. And once I got into that book, I realized that everything was in the top. And the more you're in alignment with high vibration, high positive vibration, being more positive, having more of the good energies, the more of what you want will come your way. And oh man, I started doing that. And so the first week I started reading the book and I was like implementing, trying to stay focused onto positivity, being grateful, writing my journal and stuff. And so I was going through, I had some kids that I was watching, and so they wanted McDonald's. Worst food ever, but regardless, that's what they wanted. So at the time, I didn't know anything about health or anything like that. And I go through the McDonald's. That whole week, I was like in this high vibration mode. I was happy about everything. And my kids were like, "Mom, are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just doing something here. I want to try to see how it works." Anyway, I go through the drive-through and I ordered the food, and the person who was charging when you go to the next window said it's paid for. I was like, what? Someone in the line ahead of me paid for what I was ordering. And I was like, oh, it does work. So I started to see things like synchronizing, and then I realized, you know what? This is true. Like, I just felt like I found the perfect thing that worked so well. And then I started to listen to all of her stuff, and that drove me into, okay, I need to see how I can start to share this to other people. I went to school, I started studying about health, so I did my health coaching, and then that wasn't enough. I had a stomach problem, and then I found out my stomach problem was from stress. And there we go again, mindset. And so I went into life coaching. So I'm certified life, certified health, certified transformational, and now master coaching, which all came right down to the one thing: the body. That's once you pay attention to that, that's like the super key. I call it, the body is the vehicle, the feelings is the check engine light. That's what I call it.
I love it, Coach Adele. That's amazing. And that's a great metaphor, the car. We always come to putting a metaphor as a car. You don't want to look backwards. You want to look in your rear view to make sure that past isn't coming up on you, trying to catch up and get you back in there. You want to look forward, because that's where we're looking. We're going forward in our life, and that's where we want to focus on. Front and
Can I add
center.
something too?
Take it away, Deborah.
I love when you talked about the receiving at the store, because this past week I received a donation, right? And then I was able to turn around and pay it forward to somebody else. And I'm gifting them now something for not just themselves, but for their family, for a family member. And they're willing to receive it too, because I asked them, are they open to receiving the gift? But I love that concept, because we have to be open to receiving, and we have to be open to giving.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's really hard to receive. And I struggled with that quite some time. I'm spoken to by a rabbi once about how receiving is also as important as giving. And I had this conversation this week with this individual as well, as we talked about it, because receiving allows people to do a good deed, allows them to be able to give. And when we deny somebody that ability to give to us, we're denying them that ability to practice their own gratitude, right? Because often when we give, it's from our heart, and it's from our own gratitude of a gift that we may have received, whether it's financial or whether it's just support. right? And so we want to now be able to just give to somebody else. So it's important to be able to receive, and it's important to be able to give. And it doesn't have to be anything big. Like you were saying, your food was paid for, right? I've seen people do that with drinks. You know, I say all the time when I go to the hospital, I bring my cards and I leave them for the staff members. Or last week, I gave little tiny keychains. It wasn't anything big, but it was gratitude for the nurses who work there, who work really hard at these infusion centers, especially the oncology infusion centers. And just taking that moment, it doesn't even have to be just that moment. How often, I want just to think about this, guys. If you're in a doctor's office, how often when the nurse comes in or the technician comes in and says, "How are you today?" do you turn around and ask them how their day is going? And the reason why I say this is every time I turn around and say, "And how has your day been so far?" they would stop and kind of look at me for a second, like, huh? Because nobody normally asks that, right? It's not normally a regular process because we're so rushed to do things. So taking that time, whether it's anybody being of service, right, doing any kind of a job, just saying, "How's your day?" Or a thank you to a service member, or thank you to somebody who's working. It's something special to do, but it's a way of just sharing that gratitude. And I just wanted to share that because I think it's really important to talk about that. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to read chat at the same time. It doesn't quite work for me. But I did want to say that because for me personally, gratitude has changed my life, right? And I know you talked about a coach too of that gratitude journal. I have one too. I have a digital one, and I started it a few years back with my son. And we at nighttime we would go to read, and we would also say what we were grateful for that day. And that way, he started understanding the value of practicing gratitude daily, right? Because for me, through the eyes of gratitude is how I live my life, and it's why I can remain positive because gratitude makes such a difference for me. And that journaling it, writing it, like dictating it, whatever works for you, practice it. Because as we practice that mindset of gratitude, it allows us to understand where we're going and where we're coming from. And it allows us, when we have those moments of self doubt, to come out of it faster. I mentioned earlier today, I had a moment on Sunday. I was really frustrated about my limitations, and I was frustrated because there's something else going on. I'm just like kind of done with there always being something around the corner, especially when I get used to one thing. So, yeah. But then I turned around and I thought about the people that follow me, the people that I interact with. There's a value for them to see this journey. So, yes, would I have made a great attorney? Heck yes. Would I have done great in the civil rights arena? Sure thing. And that's where I was going. And my undergraduate and graduate were in education. Actually, I was a peer counselor and a hotline counselor, and I did a lot of work there. Would that have been good at it? Absolutely. But is there value with where I'm at today? Absolutely. Right. And taking that into account and understanding our journey matters and moving forward with love, compassion, and gratitude makes all the difference in the world, not just for us, but for all the people that are around us and are touched by it. And I'll yield my mic back to you, Miss Janet.
Woo, woo! I love it, Deborah. I love it. Oh my goodness. Gratitude is key. And getting out of our own way and helping someone else, that will make an impact in us as well. So thank you so much, Deborah, for sharing that. And you know what I learned is before you go to bed and when you wake up every day, name 3 things you're grateful for. Period. Name 3 things you're grateful for and watch that transform your life, because once you're grateful for the little things, like I have a bed, I have a chair, I have access to a computer to be able to connect with a like-minded, beautiful souls on this earth. Oh my goodness. The more you're grateful, the more things that come your way. So definitely challenge yourself and look in the mirror and say, I love you. I really, really love you. And if you can't say that, then you got to ask yourself why.
Mm-hmm.
And keep practicing. So thank you so much for being here today for Family Talk Friday. We are here every Friday to motivate and inspire families, to empower families, because when we empower a family, we empower a community. And when we empower a community, we empower the world. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Now, Coach Adelita, I love your name, Adelita. Closing comments and thoughts, and how can we connect with you for those listeners out there who are willing and ready to take on the challenge of talking to someone and getting a coach to help them maneuver through this journey called life? Take it away, Coach Adelita.
Yes. You can find me here on Clubhouse, Adelita Rayburn. I am also on YouTube, LMT Coach. My main place that you can contact me straight away in Messenger is Instagram or Facebook at Coach Adelita Rayburn, the same name that's here on my on this information here for Clubhouse. You can reach me through any one of those medias. Just you can follow me, send me a message, or you can even send me a text message on 847-414-8237. I'll be more than happy to answer any question that you may have. And guys, what do I always want is for everyone to see everyone with love and compassion, because at the end of the day, I've always said this: everything that everyone is doing, they're doing it out of love, either to give love or to get love. Whether it's maybe an argument or maybe just loving each other, they're doing it for love. If someone is angry at you, they might be doing it because they want love or they want to give love. So everything derives from love, and that's where we want to end it with love. Remember, guys, be grateful and love each other.
Woo-hoo! Thank you, Coach Adele. Be grateful and love each other. Love conquers all. Thank you so much, Coach Adele. Now,
Thank you.
Deborah, take it away, Deborah.
Well, first off, again, thank you, Coach Adele. That was great. And I wanted to add, because you added so many wonderful gems, is learning to love yourself. And I know, Jenith, you talked about this too. And those who know and followed me this past year know this is something that I struggled with, is to love myself and to see myself as beautiful, to see myself the way others see me. Took me a long time and a lot of work and a lot of practice. My friend Sandra would make me go to the mirror and give myself a high five, take a picture of it, a selfie of it to show her that I was doing the high five. Right, because I couldn't just say it. I had to prove it. And the reason why I mention this is there is value in surrounding ourselves with people who are on the journey of self-love, who can see us for who we are and what we're accomplishing and remind us when we get to that challenge. But that practice, that mirror work, my gosh, you mentioned that mirror work before too. It is invaluable. And for me, that mirror work made a difference when I went beyond my comfort zone into the Miss Wheelchair USA competition this past year. And I found myself at the weirdest of times, right on that stage at the finals, and the pay-per-view cameras are on my face, and I lost my cue card, and I looked out, and I saw all my family from across the country sitting there. And at that moment in time, I realized who I was, who I am, loved myself, and where I'm going and what I'm accomplishing. And I share this because it was so meaningful to really get to that point. It doesn't happen overnight, but the practice of gratitude, the practice of self-love, the understanding of our bodies and who we are and where we're going is invaluable in that journey. Have patience with yourself. Give yourself grace. Give those around you grace, because you never know what somebody else is going through. and start practicing appreciation for the smallest of things. And as you work that up to higher and higher and higher, before you know it, you're going to see yourself in a different way. You're going to learn how to be grateful for the smallest of things that you're able to do and grateful for those things that people do around you. I mean, I can go on forever how grateful I am for my family and what they've done for me and how they make things possible so that I can do what I do. And they do so much for me so that I can do what I do. And I'm grateful for that because it allows me to at least function to a little bit of an extent and what I want to get done because they make it possible. Take that time, appreciate all that's around you, love the people around you, and give back wherever you can. And with that, I say thank you so much for such a beautiful segment today. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Vic, and how can we contact you?
Forgot about that. Thank you. So I'm also on pretty much all the platforms. Most platforms I'm at Forward Rolling. And I also have for my nonprofit is Victorious, VICKTORIOUS. And on Instagram is _NPO. Everywhere else is Victorious. Somebody has it already on Instagram. But so I do work with both of those places. I have a 10K card that I'll put up in the clubhouse as well. And I'm always available from everything from my mindset programs to my creative endeavors. And I'm happy to talk with people about those journeys.
All right. Thank you so much, Deborah. Oh my goodness. And Victorious just became an LLC, right? Deborah. So that's
nonprofit, 501c3.
There you go. Your nonprofit has been created. And how amazing, Deborah had the thought and she started moving forward and creating and bringing that thought into fruition and making it live. So everything is possible when we really put our focus on it, really start developing our own energy to go forward and create something that's been given to us. So I love that you've accomplished that. You're an inspiration because I too am going to accomplish the same. Because if Deborah Vick can do it, we can all do it, right, Deborah? I love it. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm Janet Alvarado. We here at GW3 empower, uplift, and motivate people to become the best versions of themselves. So join the community. Get connected with like-minded individuals who want to spread the love and empower each other. And Family Talk Fridays, we're here every Friday. We just don't have Family Talk. We have other segments throughout the week here on Clubhouse, but we do go live as well. So if you find yourself looking for answers, ask yourself the questions. And, sometimes people are brought into your circle for a reason. So ask those questions. Why did I pop into this club? Why did I see this YouTube page? Why am I seeing this right now? Why? Ask the questions and you shall receive the answer. So thank you so much for being here. My name is Janet Alvarado. You can connect me at meetjanethalvarado.com. And I'm here to inspire and empower you because I've done it myself. And like our coach Adele mentioned earlier, a book. She came across a book that changed her life. And books can change your life because a book changed mine. So thank you everyone for being here. Till next week, this is Janet Alvarado signing off.
Wakanda forever!